For almost 2 hours now, Ananda has been dancing to the rhythm of the dark, the traditional drums of Durga Puja. There's no trace of tiredness in his body. On his face, only peace, a rare kind that comes once a year. He's standing on a boat in the middle of a rural river in Bangladesh, where the sound of drums echoes through the wind. Once again, the time of Durga Puja has arrived. It is a major Hindu festival celebrating the victory of the goddess Durga over the buffalo demon Mahishasura, symbolizing the triumph of good over evil. Its roots in Bengal date back at least to the late 1500s, when local landlords organized grand community worship. Over time, it evolved into a pan-regional festival spanning home worship, elaborate public pandals, vibrant cultural events, and ritual immersion of idols, blending devotion with social celebration. Today, it's the final day, the day of immersion. Soon, the goddess will be returned to the river, marking the end of another year's celebration. Ananda, a 40-year-old battery van driver. Every morning, he starts his day. From market to village and back again, this is his everyday rhythm. He earns $5 to $6 a day, just enough to feed his family, but never enough to fulfill his dreams. Yet he smiles through it all, because in his eyes live 3 little dreams, his 3 sons. The eldest is 15, the younger 2 are twins, only 5. For Ananda, Durga Puja brings a brief escape, a few precious days when the weight of daily struggle fades away. His home lights up with laughter. He dances to the beat of the drums and wears new clothes. This story isn't just about a festival, it's about a man who works endlessly yet never forgets to smile, who finds small moments of happiness in the middle of hardship. It's about how, even in the simplest homes, joy finds its way in through laughter, devotion, and togetherness. The festival began for Ananda almost 5 days before the main celebration. That evening, he set out with his family for Taherpur Bazaar. As they drove along the dimly lit road in their van, they made their way slowly to the marketplace. With the soft glow of the van's lights guiding them through the darkness. By the time they arrived, night had already fallen. However, the shops were still bustling with activity. During the Puja festival, the town never really sleeps. Inside one of the glowing stores, Ananda's wife looked through rows of saris. Meanwhile, Ananda tried to keep his twin boys from running wild. Restless and full of life, they darted between racks of clothes, tugging at their father's hand. After searching for a while, they finally picked out a sari. After a brief bargain, the shopkeeper took the money, and Ananda's wife's eyes lit up with quiet joy. Next came the children's turn, but by then it was late. They went into another store, but struggled to find the right sizes for their kids. Ananda decided to return the next day to buy the clothes for them. For now, he gathered his family into the van and started the slow journey back home through the night. The next morning, their little courtyard turned into a space of celebration. Ananda's wife sat by the gas stove, skillfully shaping sweet narus made from coconut, sesame, and molasses. Her mother and younger sister joined her, lending a hand. Sometimes she melted jaggery into syrup. Sometimes she rolled it into small golden spheres, still warm to the touch. On the other side of the courtyard, Ananda and his eldest son were busy grating coconuts. While two younger boys ran around, stealing sweets when no one was looking. Laughter echoed through the air, mixing with the sweet smell of jaggery. And in that simple house by the river, the sound of joy, the warmth of family, and the aroma of sweets together turned their home into a tiny temple of celebration. That evening, Ananda took his two young sons to the village's puja pavilion. The puja was already in progress, with rituals unfolding slowly and gracefully to the rhythmic sound of drums. In tune with this rhythm, Ananda's children began to dance, their innocent smiles and sparkling eyes spreading happiness throughout the pavilion. Once the puja finished, the priest and some local villagers began tidying up for the event. Ananda took a moment to enjoy the sweet scent of incense and the spirit of devotion in the air before heading home through the calm evening. Next morning, the first light of dawn filled the village with new excitement. You could hear drums beating, footsteps shuffling, and the soft hum of preparations all around. With the help of a few villagers, the priest gathered everything needed for the rituals. Ananda also brought his family to the pavilion. His wife joined the others in their work. Ananda sat to one side with his children, watching the puja unfold. The air was now alive with the beat of drums and the fragrance of festivity. Saptami marks the true beginning of Durga Puja. Early in the morning, water is brought from the river, and a banana plant is dressed as a young bride, known as Kolabu or Nabapatrika. She is draped in a new sari and placed beside the idol of the goddess. From that moment, the main worship of the goddess begins. The whole village comes alive with a wave of celebration as people arrive in new clothes and bow before the goddess. From this day on, the mood of the puja transforms completely. The rush of preparation fades, replaced by light, joy, and devotion. Evening of Ashtami. The air carries the fragrance of festivity. Ananda sets out with his wife and two young sons toward the town. Tonight, the whole family will visit the goddess together. As they reach the town, they step into a beautifully decorated puja pavilion by the roadside. Crowds have gathered all around, people in new clothes, some taking photos, some admiring the decorations, others busy capturing selfies. The lights around the pavilion and the colourful idol of the goddess create a warm, golden glow that brightens the entire area. Ananda and his wife walk forward and bow before the goddess. Peace spreads across their faces, as if all the fatigue, struggle, and worries of life have melted away in that single moment. Beside them, their two young sons stare wide-eyed at the idol, full of wonder. With the loud songs and the play of light and shadow, the pavilion feels alive. After paying their respects, they leave for the next pavilion. Rows of lights line both sides of the street. People hurry past, laughing and talking, surrounded by colorful decorations. A short walk later, they arrive at another temple. Inside, people dance to the rhythm of the music, filling the air with joy and excitement. Ananda and his wife bow before the goddess once again, and this time one of their young sons joins them, lowering his head in respect. It's a quiet lesson. Standing beside his parents, he learns the meaning of respect, devotion, and prayer. For a moment, Ananda and his wife close their eyes, as if finding inner peace amid the noise around them. Beside them, the beat of the drums continues, songs echo through the crowd, and devotion and joy flow together as one. They continue to visit several more pavilions, one after another. The crowd grows thicker, the lights brighter, but there is no sign of exhaustion in Ananda's eyes. His sons walk beside him, holding his hand, their faces glowing with wonder at everything they see. Along the way, Ananda stops near a roadside toy shop. The boys, filled with excitement, start asking for toys. Ananda buys each of them a small toy pistol. The two brothers are overjoyed. As they keep walking, they play and laugh together. Perhaps this, walking hand in hand with their father, is the true meaning of the festival for them, where faith and joy are tied together by love. As night deepens, they get on a rickshaw and head home, leaving behind the city's lights, music, and festive crowd. Back in their village, the small puja pavilion is already alive with worship. The air is thick with incense smoke, and the rhythmic beat of drums fills the night. The place is crowded with villagers. Their faces shine with happiness and devotion. In the city, most visitors are wealthy, but here, the people are poor and simple. Yet their joy, their devotion, is no less than anyone else's. As dawn breaks, Navami arrives. The 9th day of Durga Puja, a day that marks the beginning of the goddess's triumph. According to ancient legend, this is when Durga takes up arms against the demon Mahishasura, revealing the full power of her divine strength. As night approaches, the village comes alive with light and music. The sound of drums fills the air. Incense wafts gently, and laughter echoes everywhere. Children, dressed in new clothes, run joyfully around the pavilion, while the elders watch with smiles. The whole village seems to move in harmony with the rhythm of the drums. The priest leads a ceremonial light offering, moving slowly as the incense smoke swirls around. The drumbeat becomes even more powerful as the prayers conclude, paving the way for the celebrations. The children take center stage first, performing dances in small groups. They spin, laugh, and lose themselves in the moment. While the audience claps along, smiling as the little ones are rewarded with treats like chocolates and biscuits. In one corner of the decorated area, Ananda's wife sits with their two sons, quietly watching the festivities. Ananda stands close by, surrounded by a lively atmosphere where there's barely any room to move, just music, laughter, and expressions of devotion. After the children's performances, it's the adults' turn to dance. One by one, the village women step forward. Some hold traditional incense burners, while others dance freely to modern songs. As the night wears on, mothers carry their sleepy children home, but Ananda stays behind. He still has his own prayers to offer. Fresh incense fills the air again as Ananda approaches with a lamp in hand. As he moves the flame in front of the goddess, light flickers through the smoke, creating a sacred feeling that seems to freeze time. A few others join him, their eyes closed and expressions peaceful. Outside, the moonlight shimmers on the river, while inside, a deep sense of faith envelops the warm haze. In that small village gathering, time feels as if it stands still. The flame eventually fades, leaving a comforting silence that feels soft, warm, and full of tranquility. By midday on Dashami, the final day of the festival, the temple fills again. The drums beat once more. The priest begins the final prayers, chanting softly. It is said that on this day, Goddess Durga defeats Mahishasura, the victory of light over darkness, of good over evil. Dashami is not only about farewell, it's a celebration of courage, justice, and hope. Soon begins Sidur Khela, the playful ritual of colors. Women joyfully apply red powder, known as vermilion, to each other's faces while laughing together. Even the men get playfully included in the fun. Ananda's wife joins in, her face glowing with bright red powder. She dances to the rhythm of the music, and her laughter blends into the cheerful noise of the crowd. For a short while, it feels like life has no end and nothing but joy. As the decorated pavilion stands by the river and the ceremonies come to a close, it's time to prepare for the immersion of the idols. Boats are moved up to the riverbank, and the villagers work together to gently lift the idols and place them onto the boats. Among them is Ananda, whose hands are steady and whose heart is filled with pride and devotion. Soon, everyone climbs aboard, men, women, and children. A loudspeaker plays songs, the dak beats in sync with the river's gentle waves. The boat drifts out, carrying the goddess, and the dance begins. It's the end of monsoon. The river is full and alive. Many people gather along the riverbank to enjoy and share in this joyful moment. In that moment, Ananda becomes someone else. He dances joyfully on the boat, his body moving freely and his smile shining brightly. A man without worries, if only for a little while. The music, the drums, the river breeze, they wash away his exhaustion. For a brief time, there is no hardship in his life, only rhythm, only life. On both sides of the river, a lively fair is taking place. Thousands of people are gathered on the bridge, watching as boats filled with goddesses float by. Stalls line the paths, selling delicious food, fun toys, and beautiful jewelry. There's hardly any room to move. Children perched on their father's shoulders gaze up in awe at the boats, their faces lighting up with excitement. In this joyful blend of celebration and devotion, everyone comes together in a wonderful display of unity. Boats from nearby villages join in, each bringing their own special idols, cheerful songs, and a spirit of happiness. As darkness falls, the boats return to the bank. It's time for farewell. The immersion begins. One by one, the idols are lowered into the river. Drums beat loudly. At last, the goddess herself is immersed. Ananda leaps into the water with her. On the shore, a child holds a small clay lamp. When the immersion is complete, he carefully places it where the goddess once stood. People bow before the fading light, their hearts heavy yet full. And so ends the puja of Ananda's family, an extraordinary chapter in an ordinary life. The goddess may leave, but her blessings stay with them. Every heart carries the same belief that no matter how great the darkness, light will always return. The next morning, life resumes its usual pace. The festive sounds have faded, and the sweet smell of incense is no longer in the air. The goddess has gone back to her heavenly home, and Ananda have returned to his everyday routines. Ananda sets out early, driving his battery-powered van along the road to pick up villagers. Some he knows well, others he meets for the first time. Everything seems to settle back into its normal rhythm. By noon, Ananda is back at home. His wife is busy cooking. They have a small stove, a couple of chairs, and two simple rooms that contain just a bed, a wardrobe, and a mirror. This is their life, humble but filled with warmth and vitality. In the afternoon, she paints Alpana on the floor, delicate white patterns. Though the puja is over, her devotion remains. She stands before every piece of furniture, every picture of the gods, eyes closed, whispering a prayer. Before finishing, she steps outside and offers one last prayer before Ananda's van. The house that once echoed with laughter is now quiet, yet inside that silence lives peace. Across Bangladesh, 10 million Hindu men and women like Ananda live this same story, lives of labor and uncertainty. But hearts that find joy once a year when the drums return. Durga Puja is not only a worship of a goddess, it is a celebration of humanity itself. Here, religion does not divide, it unites. Hindu, Muslim, all breathe the same river air, their faces lit by the same smile. People like Ananda remind us, no matter how hard life becomes, there is always a reason to smile. Faith is not only about prayer, it is the courage to live. The goddess leaves, but hope remains. For every night that falls, a new dawn waits somewhere ahead. And when that dawn comes, the Anandas of this land set their wheels in motion again, toward life, toward light, toward another beginning. On this river-filled soil of Bangladesh, such stories are born every day, where devotion, struggle, and joy flow together in one eternal current of humanity.